Everybody, welcome to the most must-see podcast in history. Welcome to the DDT Domain Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Cam. He's Yan.
I am,
Let's
yeah.
talk about stuff. How you been?
I've been, hmm, I've been swell. I'm currently in a state of equilibrium, managing life's ups and downs with a sense of calm and contentment. So, long story short, I'm doing amazing. It's been a good day. It's been a very good day. What's new with you? How's your day been so far? What are you up to?
I'm doing fantastic. Just had a mean burger and chips. Fucking
Hmm,
doing amazing.
I knew it.
How about you?
I, kn-
What
I
you
knew
you
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 having a
doing?
burger. We were talking before, and I said you were having some sort of meat, but I didn't know what type of meat. I'm doing well. I'm also having
I
some
already
sort of
asked you
meat.
that.
I know you did. You jabroni. No, I am having pizza. Some frozen pizza. It's not frozen now because that would be bad on my teeth. But it's some pepperoni
You
pizza.
just
It's really fluffy, extremely
you
fluffy.
just took a pizza out of the freezer and started munching it.
Exactly. That's how it's meant to do. You need it hard enough so you can play like disc frisbee or whatever outside, and then you can just take a chomp out of it when you're
Disc
done.
frisbee.
Yeah, you know the frisbee. You throw it outside, you catch it the whole
Yeah,
9 yards, and when you're done with it, the winner gets to eat it. Whether you cook it is up to you, though.
that's okay. Moving on. So, right. We're all here for one reason only. It's Royal
To
Rumble
do.
season. We're
Ooh.
recording this on Tuesday, the 23rd of January, and there's only 4 matches announced,
Hmm.
with the pay-per-view happening this Sunday. Sorry, Gunther's showing this Saturday.
I think it's.
That'd be in
I
the
like it.
27th,
It's good
I
because
think.
yeah, 27th of January, Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida, 2024 Royal Rumble. There's only 4 matches on the card, and I kind of like it. Mainly because it allows time to breathe. I mean, you think about the Rumbles, you do what, an hour each Rumble, if you really want to get some longevity out of it.
Yeah, that's
You
what you got
have
to
what?
work it out. You got to work out roughly an hour Rumble, so that's 2 hours gone already. Now you
Yeah.
got say hour and a half of a show left.
Yeah, so you what? You're doing like 30, 40 minutes for the Fatal 4-Way because Roman's entrance will take like 10 minutes alone. And then,
Yeah, and
I
then
don't think the KO and Logan Paul match is going to be under 5.
there will be an extra match there. Just
Mm.
depends what it is. I assume Rhea or EO will be
They could do.
on the card.
I mean, I was thinking for a bit of time now that it was going to be DIY versus Judgment Day for those penny titles, the undisputed tag team titles. But that's, I mean, as of now, it
That's
got announced on Monday. It's on next Monday's show.
yeah, that's a shame. They really need to start putting tag team stuff on the pay-per-views.
Mm. So,
But also damage control was on Raw last night, I think.
yeah, we've got a bit of Bailey out there doing some jaw jacking
But I
with
don't.
him.
I'm not understanding why though,
I think it's one of them things
because
that they do.
there's SmackDown.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm inclined to agree with you. It is one of them things they do, and I'm not sure if I agree with it, but it builds up the Rumble. I mean, we'll get into it when we do Rumble predictions, but I think this year's Rumble setup has been really good, so I'm willing to overlook some things. Um, yeah, I've liked this. So we had Bailey, a SmackDown superstar, as you said, show up on Raw, talking to Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley, talking about how maybe she goes for Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, which is what, as of this point, Bailey is still very much part of Damage Control. Who knows what things become in the future? But for now, she is a heel, and in her kayfabe mindset, if she is to win the Rumble right now, she'd be going for Ripley. But yeah, so I mean, if you want, we can just get right into it with the we could either do the weekly recap, we can do a Rumble prediction. It's completely up to you where we start off.
I think before we get on to the Rumble, we need to talk about the segment between
Mm.
CM Punk and Cody Rhodes.
Mm,
What a segment.
my God. What do the kids say these days? Cinema. Absolute
Skibbity
cinema.
Riz.
Mm. Sticking your out for the Vizsla.
But I was gripping onto every word that both men said. Just Punk saying that he's more um
More American Dream
oh
than him.
more yeah, more American Dream than Cody. And talking about their OVW when Cody was in OVW, not many
Mm.
people remember that. Not many people
No,
probably even know about that.
and I think that's probably, you know, we always talk about, like, when we're just talking, when we're texting or when we're just speaking with members of our community, we always say about how we wish AEW and WWE can get acknowledged in each other in the other promotion. I know AEW a bit more lenient when mentioning WWE, but in terms of last time, I know I can't remember the last time. Maybe it was Sami Zayn talking about AEW all in like 2019. It's been a while, so it kind of lends to they can pick stuff up from OVW because they kind of have to. They they were like two passing ships in the night in AEW, so there's not really much to go off. They had careers there, and they could put if there was like a change off, they could probably talk about it. But it's good that they have that history. They can go back to it. They've got history together, Punk and Cody. They were in WWE for a good few years together before Punk left in 2014. So they do have some history to go
In
off.
WWE around about the same length of time.
Mm.
Cody being there an extra 2 years,
Yeah, well,
extra two and a
if I'm
half
not
years,
mis-
I think. 2016.
so Punk was there from 2005, 2006. I think Cody came in
I think it
about
was oh
a year.
05 he got his developmental contract in
Mm.
OVW, and Cody was 2007. So yeah, same amount of time, about
Yeah,
7 years.
and
No,
then when
9 years.
time's a construct. So yeah, when Punk used that line, absolutely loved that. And then Cody going back to the pipe bomb that famous night and on June 27th, 2011, when Punk sat cross-legged on that ramp and just, as Cody said, rattled off the formula for Revolution. And Cody said he actually did those things and Punk just talked about them, which made Cody Rhodes more CM Punk than CM Punk.
And it
It,
was an intense stare down. Like both men, like just on each other.
mm,
Like something just felt right. And a thing for me is I'm looking at it like both of these guys were in AEW at the same time as well.
mm,
And now I'm looking at this like this is the first proper two guys have went from one company to another and now they're feuding. This is like uh what would be
it,
say Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan in WCW. This to
mm.
me feels similar to what that is. You've got Cody Rhodes, the creator of the company, CM Punk, who put a lot of eyes on the company.
Mm. Yeah, it's we've not had that in a while. The last time I could draw a somewhat of a comparison, and this is probably nowhere near, but it was when Moxley and Jericho had a feud in AEW because they were ex WWE guys. They,
100%.
at like they didn't cut their teeth in WWE, but they certainly made a name for themselves at that company. So for them to go out and then just do their own thing outside of the WWE bubble, yeah, it's a much bigger scale than for Punk and Cody to do what they're doing, and also it's just two massive stars. Punk called Cody a superstar, and for the first time in a long time, I don't think Punk used any tone of sarcasm in his voice when he used the term superstar because it's a big deal. I mean, in the last few weeks we've had what? We've had Drew and Jay come to blows. We've had them come to blows for the last few months. We've had Cody and Drew McIntyre. We've had Seth and Drew. We've had Drew and Punk, and now we're getting Cody and Punk. That's what I've liked about this road to the Rumble. All of the big guys, all of the big names, are interacting with each other. It's not just linear. I'm going to
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
this
I'm going to win the
is
Rumble.
this is where I think it's sort of where we now know we're in the Triple H era. Because I remember when he first took over, was it 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah.
SummerSlam 22. Um, it was sort of known that Triple H is now the head of creative. He's the booker, but he's still gonna follow through with the Vince stories and honor them. And I feel like we're past the point of that, and it's actually all Triple H now. And
Mm.
that's why you're seeing everything sort of intertwined a lot more now, because we are now officially in that Triple H era of
Mm.
booking. No more Vince at all.
He seems like the type of guy that rewards patience in the WWE, and that can be in storyline. I mean, very brave for him to have Roman win a Mania 39 last year, but hopefully there's a path. Maybe Cody loses, and then again, I'm not. This is not a spoiler, and this is not my prediction. It may be, but I'm not saying it is. Cody may not win the Rumble. He may win the Chamber. Don't rehash the formula. Just come up with something new. Make 39 worth it. But the point is, he's patient, and it shows when you have. I think as at time of recording, 8 people announced for this Rumble, the men's Rumble, and it already feels like it's such a bigger deal than the last 2 years combined. Like, there's only 8 people announced, but they've made those 8 people creative. They've made those 8 people feel like absolute stars.
That was an awkward pause there.
I mean, it's a perfect segue
Today I'm trying every grilled
to
cheese cooking method and
because we can go over the whole Raw because it wasn't the only good thing on Raw on Monday. I think there was a lot of good parts about it. I mean I'm gonna shoehorn this in. I love what R-Truth is doing. When
Oh,
he
yeah.
yeah when he was first like interacting with Judgment Day. This is me. This is my forward thinking to a fault brain being, oh, why is R-Truth on the screen? He's funny, but he may be taking some screen time away. How wrong was I? R-Truth has more than earned his spot on the Raw show in 2024. The stuff he does, like
100%.
when he's doing the when he's doing the t-shirt money cuts, trying to kick JD out. Like he's got a little bit with everyone. He's more like character orientated with Damien and to a certain extent Dominic because I feel like they can riff off each other quite well, and especially JD McDonough as well. I feel like they've got a good thing going. It's kind of to a lesser extent what Sami Zayn did with the Bloodline. I don't think it will get to that point, but there's a place for it on the show.
Everything that I've seen of Truth and Judgment Day, I'm probably about to say everything you just said, but it's been the perfect mix of seriousness and comedy.
Mm,
It's like Kurt Angle in a way. If Kurt Angle was a group himself, you'd get Judgment Day with Truth because there's uh, so much there that like you look at Judgment Day, they are a serious faction no matter how you look at it, but they're always able to slide into that comedy role, much
mm.
like Kurt Angle as a person could. Same with most people from that era, to be honest. Like if you're, oh, you get what I'm trying to go with.
Yeah. Um, a lot of guys from that era. They
And even in NXT when he dropped back down, when he
mm,
attacked Gargano and Champa, and it was like, is he joining the Undisputed Era? And he was a serious guy. We know he's very good at that. But then watching like Rhea and Damien, this is moving away from Truth now. Just
mm.
Rhea and Damien arguing, and you see Finn Balor's like facial expressions, like making a joke out of a situation. Even if we look at JD in the background, um, what Priest was talking about Rhea getting all big headed because she's the cover of 2K, and you see JD sort of like, oh, come on, that's uncalled for. Like, because, you know,
Yeah, it's
it's, and then Rhea even bringing it up to him saying, I'm the one that's big headed. And it's like, the comedy there, I'm probably going on a rant that's unnecessary here, but it's just fantastic. Probably one of the like with before JD and Truth, it started to get really bland. Since JD's joined, the comedy has sort of gotten. There's been more comedy, which I think is helping people like myself enjoy it a lot more than what we were maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
Mm. And honestly, it it's a talking point in itself, but I like to link this to this. The fact that it's Triple H now, not Vince, because for starters, I don't think this happens if this type of storyline happens properly. If Vince is in charge, I'm sure we had it with the Bloodline and Sammy, but I feel like Roman ever since 2020 has been given sort of carte blanche to do what he wants, and he not like because I know Roman, he you could tell he felt stifled with the babyface work he was given before the pandemic, and he's just been given the reins to do his own thing, and being able to lean into that comedy and the serious side. The Bloodline kind of gives a blueprint to that. So when you do that with Judgment Day and R-Truth, you have an idea of what you can do there. And again, with Vince, I think this turns into something completely different. I think the Judgment Day completely turns into a comedy. Whereas with Triple H, you can still retain that aura of seriousness and that aura of, okay, these guys are dangerous. We have Mr. Money in the Bank here. We have the undisputed tag team champions here. This group can do something if they so choose to. It's not just a case of, oh, these guys are floundering. Let's put a comedy act with them so they have some screen time. No, it's only in enhancing the product, and that's really good. I mean, and even the small things like McIntyre and Priest, the main event of Raw, you had Truth interfering. Not only did it kind of mess with Priest a bit, but it also cost McIntyre the win. Like early on, of course, he went on to win the match, but there's layers to this, and R-Truth is a welcome addition. I feel like this is a really good era in WWE where comedy can thrive without being too contrived and too, you know, on the nose and just cringe, for lack of a better term. It's layered. There's nuance to it.
Going on what you were saying about how Judgment Day would have just been a straight up comedy group. If you think back all the way to what was it, June of 2022 when Edge got kicked out and replaced by Balor. Um, I remember the rumors that were circulating was they were going to be a paranormal group, like a spooky Undertaker style thing,
Yeah.
and Edge didn't want that to happen, and that's why he got kicked out. So if you think if Edge still had control by SummerSlam, because SummerSlam was only like 2 months away, so Vince got pushed out immediately.
Mm.
So if you think what Judgment Day would have been with Vince, it probably wouldn't have been any comedy. It would have just been cringy, and we probably wouldn't have Judgment Day right now.
Exactly. Um, like some people like to harp on Triple H for not putting forward the best show and making some questionable decisions. But you have to think about this. People, they have their biases. People are flawed. And there's not a perfect booker out there. The closest we had, ironically enough, maybe was Triple H when NXT was in the black and gold era, or AEW in its early beginnings. But they're the same people booking now. Tony Khan's booking AEW, and some people aren't fans of certain feuds. Triple H is booking WWE now. Some people aren't fans of certain feuds, and that's okay. But yeah, honestly, it's just a case of thank God we got Triple H when we did. That's what I can say about that. And you got to
100%.
remember, he's been there for what, a year and a half now? I think what he's done in that time has been pretty
a
impressive.
year and a half.
Yeah, year and a half. I think he's been pretty impressive so far, and he's only going to get stronger because we haven't done a 2023 recap because we started after that, but 2023 was such a strong year for WWE. I feel like we're not hot in the casual fan sense, but in our own bubble, we are WWE and wrestling. It's never been more hotter for a long time, and and that's down to
Oh,
Triple H and
100%.
TK.
Especially with the names that are becoming free agents. What? Okada's becoming a free agent at the end of the month. Ospreay's signed with AEW.
Mercedes
Some
Moné.
big contracts are expiring this month. Mercedes, you've got in WWE, you've got the contracts. McIntyre's expiring, hasn't re-signed. We don't know if Rollins is re-signing. We don't know if Becky's re-signing. They probably have, and it's not been announced. But you've got so many contracts of big names, such as Drew, that if he don't re-sign, there's all the possibility in the world that he goes anywhere, and that'll be a huge talking point.
See some Drew Galloway in AEW.
Exactly. I wouldn't mind watching Drew Galloway versus Kenny Omega when he's healthy.
And yeah, Drew Galloway, like, yeah, the dream matches are endless. Moxley would be a good one, especially with his new character. Swerve will be good. Like, and here's the thing: when you talk about this, when you talk about Drew McIntyre going to AEW and showing up as Drew Galloway, or when if potentially Okada going to WWE or Monet going to AEW, you listen to that and you go a bit hyperbolic. You probably wouldn't see that happening. I mean, it's good to speculate and it's good to dream, but it's not going to happen. Then
And
again,
then you look at Cody and
yeah,
Punk.
yeah, and Edge, Adam Copeland showing up in AEW. I feel like 2023 has been the litmus test of, okay, how far can we push this crazy
Hell,
simulation that is
You
wrestling?
could even put Ziggler to TNA in that boat.
I mean, a year ago, would you say he'd be there? I wouldn't.
No. A
10
year
years
ago, I
ago,
wouldn't have said he'd continue wrestling.
yeah. Wrestling is unpredictable, and most of it's good right now. There's a lot of unpredictability.
I know it's corny, but never say never.
Never say never. I know that the start. You want to know the best example of that? They're beginning to push
Go
Chad
for it.
Gable again. He had a one-on-one match with Ivar on Raw, and up until the finish, a very good match. They really played to their strengths here.
Always going to be a good match between Gable and Ivar.
Mm.
But let's move away from Raw. Start talking about the Royal Rumble this Saturday. It's only a 4-match card at the moment because, as previously mentioned, it's currently the 23rd of January, Tuesday. We've got, I can't do maths, 4 days until
Ford,
the
creeping up on
pay-per-view.
us.
Obviously, we've got the men's and women's Rumble match. We'll talk about them in a bit. First, we'll talk about Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. This
Man.
one's interesting, and it can go either way.
I am, and this is gonna blow your minds, and it's gonna be weird coming out of my mouth, especially considering everything we've known about Logan Paul and who he is as a character, as a human. I am proud of him. And yeah, that's condescending, and it doesn't matter, and it doesn't mean a thing. But to see where he's come from in terms of, you know, he started this in 2022, I believe. I mean, he was in 2021. He took the start from, ironically enough, his opponent on Saturday, Kevin Owens, at 37. But
His first bump was against the guy who he's facing at the Rumble. That's quite funny.
exactly, yeah, it's poetry in motion. So yeah, he's been doing this just a bit longer than Triple H has been in charge, which is insane. And that's not even talking about, like, oh, his WWE, no, his full-time career. He's been doing it for just under 2 years now. And he is, I hate to say it, but that guy's a natural in the ring. He's a natural on the mic as well. It's, I don't want to say, no, I'm not going to say, he's up there, and he's definitely not better than these two. But he's up there in terms of the impact that Lesnar and Angle had on the wrestling industry when they showed up. Obviously, Paul is not as talented. He's not had as many accolades in that time, but he's really made strides, and he puts a lot of eyes on the product, and that's the main thing.
I totally understand where you're coming from. It
Um,
like I remember when Logan first started making his way into the WWE, and everyone was taking the piss, saying, "Oh, he's just a YouTuber. He shouldn't be there." But then my initial thought is he's a wrestler. In college, he was a wrestler. He is a real wrestler.
mm,
He has every right to be. He has more of a right to be here than guys like John Cena, because they were not wrestlers. Logan Paul fits in WWE more than most people who wrestle because he is a wrestler. That's
mm.
controversial to say, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on the record saying WWE is his home, and you laugh at that, but like you said, you do a bit of background info on him, and he is more of a fit. I mean, this could be arguable. He is more of a fit in WWE than he is in boxing, maybe even on YouTube. Like he's got that natural charisma. He's got the athleticism. He's got the look. He, he is.
He looks like a star.
He could, yeah. And this is probably a branch too far, but I think we could be looking at a future, maybe not WWE champion, maybe world heavyweight champion. I think the ceiling's that high for him. And especially in this match, going up against a guy like Kevin Owens at a big full event like the Rumble. I mean, we've seen this before. We've had Seth go up against him at WrestleMania. He's been in the ring with the likes of The Miz, Dominic Mysterio, Ricochet.
Oh no, the fact you thrown Dominic in there as if he's like this amazing talent.
I mean, that dude's a heat magnet. But I mean, Rey Mysterio is probably the better example. But yeah, this match I don't think will disappoint. I think
Stepped
it's
in
gonna
the
be
ring
like,
with Roman Reigns.
how can I forget? I think it's
That's
just a
one we've
Saudi
missed.
match. I mean,
That was
I think,
blew his knee out.
mm, yeah, made it just in time for the Rumble. I think I need to forget that because my mind is predisposed to try and forget Saudi matches, even though we've had a bit more of importance in terms of,
I'm
return
I'm
Seth.
honestly fine. I've got another controversial take about, and it's about the Saudi shows. I've
Right.
got no problem with them because I think with these shows you see growth from the countries.
Mm,
Before WWE started doing shows there,
mhm,
women weren't allowed to be advertised or seen on nothing. Lita versus Becky from 2 years ago at Elimination Chamber was advertised in Saudi Arabia. Women were
mm.
being advertised in their country. That's a huge step, and that's why I love
Y-
companies and businesses going to Saudi Arabia because you see little elements of growth from the countries.
Yeah, and it's not like they were getting booed out of the building. They were happy to see Becky and Lita there. I think every match, every women's match that they've held in Saudi has been well received. I think it's just a backwards government. The crowd
Other
are absolutely
than
fine with it.
Natalia, other than
Uh,
Natalia and Lacey Evans,
yeah, but
when
Natalia's
Natalia
Natalia,
got a
Lacey.
bottle thrown at her.
I think that's just heats, brother. But anyway, back to the match. Um, I so I'm sure you've heard of the pipeline. That the rumor is that we'll be getting Logan Paul versus LA Knight, yeah, at WrestleMania 40. And honestly, that's the way to go in my opinion because they were building us back. I think as far as Money in the Bank this year of last year. I mean,
Yeah, with Mr. Megastar,
mm,
or was it
like
Mr. Was it Mr. Mega Manager? Is what he said.
yeah, like obviously, like they've got chemistry on the mic. I think uh, LA Knight, and this is wild to say, LA Knight, I don't think is as good as a wrestler as Logan Paul. He is solid in the fact that he can, like, his match with Roman was good. He's like Miz, where he's not hit by himself. He's not a five-star wrestler, but he can be dragged to that with the right opponent. And I think Logan can be that opponent.
I'd say he's exactly what a WWE superstar is.
Mm,
A mean promo and solid in ring work. Cena,
mm.
amazing promo, solid in ring. Rock, amazing promo, solid in ring. Stone Cold was an amazing promo and solid in ring. You know, it's the top stars are the ones that are amazing promos, but not necessarily that great in ring.
Yeah,
Obviously, they are good. There's a reason they're there, but it's always you got your promo skills up above everything else.
Yeah, and all them guys, you have what they throw punches, 5 minutes of doom, the whole shebang. I mean, it's not that cut and dry, but that's the sort of formula they follow. Cena was a bit more on the nose with that, but other wrestlers who were of that caliber didn't need to rely on that because they just had to rely on they didn't need to rely on the moveset because they relied on the crowd to get energy into the match. And some wrestlers need moves to bring a crowd in. Some wrestlers use the crowd to bring them into their moveset. It's kind of like that. And I think LA Knight's kind of a perfect opponent for Logan. Logan can be that lightning rod for LA Knight to get all his offense in. Logan can lead that match. I mean, if in case you haven't figured it out, I'm gonna go with Logan Paul to win this match. But
Oh, really?
yeah, not to pour down on poor Kevin Owens. I think he's one of the best to do it of this era. He's just one of them guys. But again, he's one of them guys who ain't gonna win at the Rumble. I don't know what Kevin Owens does at WrestleMania, and this is a shame because last year he was a part of one of the hottest angles and had a top three Mania match. I think. It's hard pressed besides Gunther's triple threat to think of anything better. But maybe via Charlotte. So it sucks, but yeah. Hey, and hopefully it's a good showcase of Kevin Owens and also Logan Paul. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Logan on this one.
First match and the first disagreement. I'm going with Kevin Owens on this one
You bastard.
because Logan Paul, in my opinion, it was great that he won the belt. Loved it. It puts eyes. It brings Paul's viewers that might not watch wrestling, gets them watching. They might see Logan wrestle and they're like, oh yeah, this is actually quite fun. This is enjoyable. I'm having fun. And with those viewers, and he's taking the title everywhere. He's at podcasts, doing everything with it. Jake Paul's held the title, doing stuff. It's getting eyes on that title, seeing the WWE logo, and then going and watching WWE. Maybe not consistently, but you're still getting eyes on the product, and people could start enjoying it, like I previously mentioned. And I think, when did he win it? He won it. Oh, when did he win it?
He won it at Crown Jewel, didn't he? Wait a
Was
second.
it Crown Jewel?
Yeah, because it was Escobar who left like the fast nuts maybe, and
Yeah,
Logan Paul cheated.
That's it. So he won it in November. He's had it for about 2 months now. I honestly think the time, like, it doesn't need to be a long reign. And I think what Logan's done for the belt already is enough. And I think if you have him drop the belt now, doesn't hurt anyone. We've got more eyes on the product because of it. Now Kevin can win the belt. Kevin can do amazing things with it. And then maybe we can build up to something else with Kevin Owens because LA Knight's on SmackDown. Logan's on. Oh, they're both on SmackDown. I'm thinking it's a Raw title. Oh, forget what I'm saying. But we can. I still think it's going to be Kevin Owens, but if we are going down the LA Knight route, Kevin versus LA Knight is much more appealing to me, even though I am a fan of Logan Paul in ring. I'd much rather watch LA Knight versus Kevin Owens.
And they can still do LA Knight versus Logan Paul without the title. I think it's just the fans want that payoff where LA Knight wins the big one, quotation marks. But it doesn't need the title. I think it's pretty apparent that they hate each other. I think they just want a big feel-good victory for LA Knight, who's kind of been given the short end of the stick in terms of, well, he's not beaten Roman. There's no one else really for him to feud with at the top level besides the other contenders in Randy Orton and AJ Styles. I think the crowd want to have LA Knight thrown a bone, and whether that's for a title or not, who knows? So you're going with Kevin Owens?
Yeah, locking it in.
Locking that in. Okay, well, we are, like I said, our first ever match prediction, and we are already at disagreement. So I think
we could have another one here.
Yes, I think so. You want to introduce this match? I know I'm interested in this one.
So the Fatal 4-Way
Mm.
between Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight, and almost said Randy Orton again, and Roman Reigns for
Oh
the
God, please.
Universal Championship. I'm already going to say I don't think this should be a fatal four-way, and I don't think AJ should be in the match.
Okay.
I'm just going to straight up say it. He came back, got given an opportunity immediately.
Mm.
Like, what is that? You don't just disappear for ages, come back, get put in a title match. You don't do that.
Well, what did Orton
it
do?
makes sense for him to come back and get Orton. I guess it makes sense for both, but Orton had matches with the Bloodline.
Mm.
He had matches with Solo. He beat Solo. He beat Jimmy. What's AJ done? He showed up and 2 weeks later had a title match.
He showed up in the craziest attire I've ever seen him in. This is like TNA
And
2013
for the
on a
love
whole
of
new
God,
level.
get in gear. Get him some gear.
Wrestling in jeans.
Oh, we can't have him wrestle in those apple bottom jeans.
No, I mean, remember in TLC 2017 or 2016 when he split his gear when he was in the ring with Ambrose.
Oh
Yeah,
God, what is that? TLC, do you say?
yeah, he did a 450 deal out of the ring onto some
Yeah.
tables and like right on the crotch,
Oh,
right on the
because I
gooch.
ripped my pants.
Mm. I mean, that can be like so much worse with jeans. Like that's like a torn groin or something like that. Anyway, um, since I went first, I'll give you the courtesy. Who do you see walking out? I mean, it may be a formality, but who do you see walking out of this match with the title?
There's not much to talk about with this match, really. It's sort of been thrown together in a way. There was a triple threat number one contenders match. It got thrown out. Now it's a four-way. There's nothing to really talk about. It's just another match before we get to Roman versus Cody at Mania. I think Reigns, because there's a triple, because it's a four-way, I'm going to say we have to pick who's getting the pin or who's taking it.
Oh, double points.
Yeah, sure. We're both picking the same person anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I highly doubt you're picking Randy Orton or AJ Styles. Let's be real here.
Hey,
But
don't count out my boy.
Roman Reigns is going to be pinning LA Knight because LA Knight takes the pin, pushing him down the card to face either Logan Paul or Kevin Owens for that US title at Mania. As I don't know what else you need me to talk about. There's nothing to talk about with this.
I mean, we could debate who gets pinned. We could debate how many times Jimmy Uso gets involved, how many times Solo gets involved. The time to the minute and second of Roman's entrance, I'm leaning towards north of the hour. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, it's a
It
foregone
has.
conclusion. It's a foregone conclusion that we know is walking out of this. And honestly, it's not even just because none of these guys are not worthy. All, pardon me, all of these guys would be decent champions. But the story we've told over the last 3 years, he needs to do the title in a one-on-one match. He can't lose it in a multi-man match.
100%.
It sort of cheapens it. So saying that, I I do think he's gonna lose at WrestleMania, maybe to the Rumble winner. Who knows? I'll let you know when we get to that. But yeah, it's got to be Bowman going through here. And as far as who gets pinned, I mean, you made a strong case for AJ not even being that she shouldn't be in the match, so I'm going to say he gets pinned.
Nice. Already, that's Jesus Christ. 2 disagreements.
And how have we started the podcast?
Oh God, Jesus. Women's Rumble next, I guess. There's 2 more matches and they're both Rumbles.
Oh, this is the meat and potatoes.
Confirmed participants as of the 23rd of January are Bailey, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair. Those are your 4 confirmed women in the match. Take the stage.
I wouldn't. I'd go out on a limb and say that could be your final four right there. Obviously there's going to be NXT gals. There's going to be surprise entrants, returns, debuts, legends. I mean, there's a lot of girls on the roster that I think would get a good run out. That should get a good run out. Girls like Ivy Nile, Zoe Stark, Shotzi. There's a lot there.
I think you say Zoe Stark. I think she has well, not anymore. Maybe like 3 4 weeks ago, I would have said she has potential to be the Iron Woman in the match, but they've seemed to have fallen off with her.
Hmm. I mean, if you want to talk about Iron Woman, you could pivot to her partner, Shayna Baszler. She is very dependable, and I know WWE like
I think she's
dependability when
she's tied most eliminations. I think we saw by the numbers. I think it's her and Bianca Belair tied with most eliminations at
yeah,
8.
yeah, 8 eliminations. But by the way, I think that gets that's a very strong possibility that it gets broken. I mean, if we're just look, we can talk about Rumble winners. It's Rumble, so we have to talk about other stuff like entrance, Final Fours, surprises,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I think.
I think we have the
Well,
same idea. And I know we've been waiting for her for a few months now. I believe she got signed in October. I think that was she was at Fastlane, and we haven't seen her since. I think we see the debut of Jade Cargill, and maybe she breaks the record for most eliminations.
oh no, we're completely different paths.
Oh, okay.
I think most eliminations we've seen Nia Jax come back, and they're very high on her. I think Nia Jax could get the most.
Hmm. I mean,
Come in middle of the pack, and then just eliminate everyone.
hmm. If I'm trying to remember, so you just what like okay, so kind of like a Lesnar deal because I know Lesnar there was the same problem with him.
There'll be a lot of lower card talent in there
Yeah, a lot of like
that'll just get
meat.
launched out. Your Indies and your Candices.
Yeah, which sucks because I like them both. But yeah, the case with Jax, I think they have the same thing they had with Lesnar. Because Lesnar's a big boy. Like I know he's like a legit athlete, but he's been in what 8 Rumbles and eliminated. No, he's been in five, I believe, five or
He's been in,
six.
I think it's
So
6.
yeah, and he's eliminated about 30 people. But crucially, his actual time, compiled up, it's been an hour. So I think a bit
That's
like Lesnar.
insane.
I know, like he gets his shit in and he gets out, or he wins. He's done it twice now. So with Jax, I think she may run into the same issue of Lesnar. Like she is for a 5 10 minute spell, she's a boss. She's great in the ring. For all her faults, like as like people talk about her safety, she is a bulldozer. She will run through you. I don't know what happens when, because I haven't seen it for a while. I don't remember the last time she's had a very long match. I don't know how big her gas tank is. I don't know if she could come in at say number 7 and run the gamut. I don't know if she's going to be there doing that. So yeah, if she does get the record, like you say, it will be at the end between 25 and 30, and there's going to be a whole lot of meat, a whole lot of like fresh meat for her to just throw out, a lot of targets. But I will stick with Cargill, but I understand and respect Nia Jax is a good shout because they've really been building her
Well,
up.
th thinking about it now, I think Nia Jax goes on a path of destruction, eliminates like 6 people upon entering.
And
The
then
very
Jade.
next entrant is Jade Cargill,
Mm,
and you have that stare down.
mm. You've got to be
Because
careful
it
with
would be a
how.
huge shock because you don't know her theme. So it would hit and you'd be like, what? Oh,
Mm,
and then like it's.
mm. Oh, it could have the pop of an AJ in 2016, especially because we're looking about 50k strong in that arena, in the stadium show actually. But you have to be
I think we
careful
should do
with.
similar to the Tron.
Yeah, can we just show it on Nia Jax's face looking confused for like a second as a power pops? Um, but you have to be
Who?
careful with who that. Well, you have to be careful with how you throw out Nia because from reports or at least hearsay or at least common sense maybe, I believe the working plan is to do Rhea versus Nia at Chamber, and that's a big stadium show as well. You have like
Oh.
40k people there, so how you eliminate her you have to be careful with because you don't want to stunt her push or stunt her momentum.
I
Unless,
think she just gets eliminated by Becky.
okay, I think she has to be in the final 5 maybe. Give her some sort of like something to go off of. Like maybe she does last a bit longer and she can say to Rhea, "Look, I lasted so long. If I was there at the end, like I was in 2023, I'd be facing you at Mania." But there you are. Anyway, we talked about surprise entrance a bit, enough. There's always a possibility of Mercedes Moné, but I think she's AEW bound. Before I give my winner, do you think she's in the Rumble?
Nah, I don't
No.
think so. I did have a small list of people, a list of 5 people that I think could appear in it for both the men's and women's.
Do you want to run off the women's? Is
Um,
any?
the 5 I had in mind for surprises was Nikita Lyons,
Hmm.
Tiffany Stratton, Mickey James potentially, but that's just a wild card thrown in there. Cargill, of course, and then Naomi. And Naomi appearing in the Rumble is a lot higher on the list now that she lost the Knockouts title to, was it Jordan Grace she lost it to?
Yeah, had a farewell match at TNA. I think was it
So
this Thursday?
now that
Yeah.
she's lost the belt, there's a lot more potential of her showing up.
Okay, I can
So
see Trinity. I'm right there with you. I think it's almost a you know besides the certain idolo that I think is going to show up in the men's rumble. I think this is the most surefire bet you can place. Is that
would she be Trinity or Naomi? Is the question.
Naomi? I think they like to bring their names back because they um they brought McIntyre's name back. They brought Cody's back when Cody was just Cody. Cody
They
Rhodes
bring
now.
EC3s back.
Oh, the less said about him, the better. I liked his Chris Van Vliet interview, but that's about it.
When
So
EC3 came back, he wasn't Derek Bateman no more.
EC3 is such a upgrade. So yeah, I think the names you covered are very likely. I'd like to see a Lyra Valkyria. Believe she's NXT champion. Get some eyes on her at
Yes,
NXT.
yeah,
Um,
she's good.
I would have said Cora Jade had she not been injured. Maybe a Lash legend.
I
Like
was
there's
gonna
some.
mention that at the start of the Rumble, Rumble talk. She was thinking about it. She was one of the names I would have put on there because she came back from an injury, but she's out for another 9 months or so. So a real shame though.
Yeah, there's a
She
whole host of
is
women.
fantastic.
I know, and right after coming back from
Roxanne
an injury.
Roxanne would be a good one.
Mm. Yeah, she was in the Rumble
I'd
last year too.
Trick Williams.
What, for the women's Rumble?
Could be fun. Oh yeah, sorry. I just started naming.
I mean, Nia did it in 2019, Equality in
I think
2024.
I think that's telling us something. Maybe we need to move on to the men's. Right, let's wrap up the women's.
Oh, no, no, yeah, let's get on with this. I think you do, I think you do Becky Rhea at Mania, but I don't think that's the Rumble winner there. I think you can get it through some other means. I mean, the whole angle of Becky thinking that she is below Rhea. They can add to that self deprecation storyline, whatever they're doing. I think the winner is going to be someone who's about to turn face, someone who is ready for that big Mania title one-on-one match.
Are we thinking the same thing?
You want to say it? 3, 2, 1? 3, 2,
Sure.
1. Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's going to be her.
And if Becky's gonna be the other match, then Becky's the last to go out.
Yeah, I think Becky could be the Iron Woman, I think. Just before we head off, yeah, I think Becky, Iron Woman, Bailey winner. Okay.
And
Main event
moving
time.
on to our last match of the current card. The men's Royal Rumble match. The
Oh, I'm
one
excited.
most people look forward to, because the women's one is fun. But when you've got a match that has CM Punk, Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, it's hard not to just,
and those are just the
oh,
names that are announced. We have so many other names that we haven't been announced yet. If I'm not,
It's
yeah,
the 20. It's the 2008 Royal Rumble match with Bobby Lashley, Cody Rhodes, CM
yeah,
Punk, Kofi Kingston, and Drew McIntyre.
yeah. I don't think we talk about this enough, but the 2024 Royal Rumble was stacked. Right, so yeah, 8 names. You've mentioned most of them. There's also Kofi Kingston and Damian Priest in the fold. There was Alpha Academy, but they've been removed from the list of competitors, so there's only 8 right now. They're mostly Raw guys, so there's a lot of room for SmackDown people. Like you could get Karrion Kross, Montez Ford. There's some people there, like on Raw, and not on SmackDown, and then on Raw you've got Jey Uso. You've got you could have like the Imperium guys. Um, there's a lot of maneuverability in terms of not only legends and returns and debuts, but guys on the main roster themselves because they've been smart about this.
Yeah, 100%. Have you got any surprises in mind? I've got 5 for this one too.
I've got a few. Like I've got one off the top of my head. Um,
We'll see if we
I've
agree on them.
I mean I've got 3 because I had 2 and then you reminded me of one. Uh, Okay, we'll start off with one that I think is almost a set. I'll go from in order of most likely. First one I think is not really a surprise because we've seen him on SmackDown. At I think Carmelo Hayes makes his full roster debut, full main roster on the Rumble, and then we'll be seeing him every Friday moving
Me
forward.
and you both.
Okay, so we're 1 for 1 on that. This is the one we're going to agree on. This is the one where we're like locked in. I think his buddy Trick Williams, we're going to see him there. They can do a little angle there because I know
Yep.
Trick has a NXT title match against Dragunov coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can do something. I know since Triple H and Shawn are booking adjacent to each other, they could obviously run something like that. It's not like Vince and Triple H where there's a disconnect. They can do something. Um, Going for a guy who's not in the company right now, I think we see Andrade return. There's been a lot of teasers online with Selena just doing the eye emoji, and of course you had the whole
That's a
thing with
good
him.
shout.
Yeah, you had the whole thing with him leaving World's End, leaving that World's End with Tony Khan stating, "I don't think we're going to renew Andrade's contract. I think he's gone. We thank him for all his years with us." Um, so I think that's a good. I think that's an okay shout. These last 2, I mean, I'm just going to say it out that I was going to think of X-Pac, but I feel like that's sort of a thing that everyone predicts every year and it never happens. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah, although this year it seems like it will happen.
You know what? I'm
It's
prepared
like the
to eat.
CM Punk prediction. CM Punk's coming back in the Rumble.
Oh
It's
man,
actually happening.
you remember when X-Pac walked out of the company? I just want to see him come back. I'm prepared to eat crow. I like Sean Waltman. I wouldn't mind him coming back, but again, so we've had Andrade and then Trick Mello again. I because we've got Chelsea Green. I believe she injured now? I don't know. She's in the
No,
company.
Chelsea's fine. She just
Oh,
wrestled on main event this past Monday.
okay. So they're
So
still
she
sort of
taped,
doing things with her.
wrestled a taped match for main event.
Yeah. I think we could be seeing Matt Cardona make a return. I don't know if it's
Does
going to
he
be a
come out
Zack
with his
Ryder.
current theme, or does he?
Or
Obviously, he won't be Zack Ryder, but does he come out to radio?
I think maybe like a metal version or a hardcore version of that. Like a
Yeah, the downstate version.
yeah, maybe even a I don't know a remix version to show the change. But I think it'll be the first time.
Because downstate have already made a version of it that he used back in like
Hmm.
2019.
Just quickly on the what he'll be called. I can't remember the last time someone who has been in WWE in a prominent role for so many years left and then come back with a different name. Unless you're thinking Tenzai, but that was a whole gimmick change. Zack Ryder's beefed up a bit, but he has the same sort of gear like trunks and boots and all that deal.
I'm sure if you gave me enough time, I could think of it. I
Yeah,
think
I
of one.
mean,
Scott
I don't.
Hall, Kevin Nash.
Okay, yeah,
Technically,
true.
they left
Uh,
and then came back as Scott Hall and Kevin Nash
oh yeah, because he was
rather than
Diesel and
Diesel and Razor.
yeah. That's very possible. I mean, yeah, I could be completely wrong. I think Zack Ryder's a solid name. It's a bit to a Gen Z for his liking because he's more grizzled and he's a bad, tough deathmatch guy, or more of a hardcore guy than he was back in 2016 when he was there. So yeah, Andrade, Chuck Meadow Gang, Matt Cardona, and I was thinking, spoiler, this comes from the commentary booth. I was initially thinking Corey Graves, but I feel like if
I
they were
love
going to
a
do
Corey
it,
Graves return.
no, I feel like if they would have done it already, if they wanted him back, like 2023, there was rumors about that. I predicted Corey
It's like
last year.
Byron Saxton in there.
Oh God, no! What are we? 2012. Competent former in-ring competitors who are now announcers. And on that subject, I'm afraid I've got some good news for once because I think it's going to be Wade Barrett making a return.
I said that last year and then didn't happen.
Got burned.
I've stated previously, if Wade's in the Rumble, it should be a funny, like a comedy spot.
Mm.
He gets up, gets in the ring, he keeps his suit on, gets in the ring, takes his jacket off.
Oh,
He's
the
in the
JBL
ring,
deal.
gets thrown over immediately, then complains about it for the rest of the night.
A bit like JBL in 2014. I see that.
Yeah, exactly like that. And then he just complains about it.
Because he was on the NXT commentary team at the start of last year, I believe. I don't think he made the switch until.
No, he was not. He was not.
Oh, was he on SmackDown?
I believe he was on SmackDown because Kevin Patrick was on Raw.
Oh God, you hear he's going. He's leaving SmackDown this week, Kevin Patrick.
It's a shame because I think he was actually starting to get good.
Yeah, nice guy, but like, it sounds like he's gasping for breath at the end of every sentence, and I'm not about that. He sounds like a really
He
nice guy
started
though.
getting better though.
Mm. Like, I feel like he had more of rapport now than he did a few months ago. Like he it feels like he was getting a bit more comfortable. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't think we'll be seeing Kevin Patrick in the Rumble. Sadly. So in terms of yeah, so we've gone through our. Oh, we have not. Before we get to like Final Four and who we're going to win, who I know you mentioned
I
Trick
haven't even said
Williams.
mine.
Yeah, I was going to say here I am, like big league and you. Yeah. So tell us, who do you have in your shortlist of guys to make a return or
So
debut?
we agreed on Carmelo Hayes.
Yes,
Bron Breakker appears in the Rumble. Feel like he
I like
has
that.
to.
Do you
Been
have
2
Corbin?
years in WWE now.
Him and
No, but
no,
I've
okay,
thought about it since we were sat here.
sure.
Braun Strowman, because he's been out
Hmm.
with injury.
Oh, I think yeah,
I think that'd be a
he's
fun one. I'd be happy with a Braun Strowman. Um, Ty Dillinger, I think, comes out at
oh,
number 10
that's a good one. I saw that. He's doing the teasing.
for the
Yeah,
seventh year in a row.
to have him come out on number
He
11
comes out at
just a
number
troll.
10.
I like that one. I can see that
And the
happening.
final one, go.
I
Who
can
was
see
that?
that happening. I really could see that happening. I feel like Cody has some stroke. He could come back there. So who's your final guy?
Technically two, because it can be one or the other.
Oh, I know. I know who it is.
I put down who?
It's either Epico or Primo.
Neither.
Oh.
TNA Legends, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Is that? Do you want to have a guess?
I mean, I was immediately
Can be
thinking Sabin or Shelley, but they are very much ingrained in
correct.
TNA. Oh, really?
Yeah. Either Chris Sabin or Alex Shelley.
Oh, and they won't have the
I
issue
think
of.
they could make a Rumble appearance.
Mm. And they won't even have the issue of one of them's champion, so they have to show the TNA belt.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason for that, or
I
is it just a
I
gut feeling?
I just like the Motor City Machine
Nah,
Guns.
I like them too. Yeah.
Motor City. But yeah, I think they would be great,
Mm,
especially if what they come in and you've got guys like AJ and LA Knight in the Rumble. They won't be because obviously they've got a match. But like TNA and Impact guys, how cool would that be seeing them in the ring?
mm.
Like who else was in Impact or TNA? Lashley. Maybe.
AJ.
Yeah, he's in the match.
Oh no, AJ's in
He's
the
in a
title
title
match.
match.
Yeah.
Speaking of AJ, can we go back to the women's match a second? AJ Lee.
Oh, okay. Nice segue. Yeah, I can see that.
Brilliant.
I mean, that's down. Oh, do they? I don't think
I
they have a
hate
win,
it
but
because I've listened to the song for an hour straight at one point. But
hey, it's a good song until you repeat it too much.
oh, 100%. I can't listen to it
Uh,
anymore.
yeah, I will be down. Yeah, CM Punk AJ both number 30 power couple. I'd like it. Um,
And then does this give you a potential WrestleMania match?
oh,
Or is it just a
yeah,
one-off?
if we're going right into
'Cause if it's
this,
a one-off, you'll be disappointed.
no, you know who I put AJ against, and you'll probably
Bailey.
think, okay, that's probably a better one, but I was thinking Roxanne Perez, give her that spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would have
I
said
would.
Cora Jade, but she's
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, exactly. You read my mind. I would have had to, but yeah, in
She
terms
has to
of
beat up her own daughter.
availability, I know Triple H is big on, you know, the future and what they can do for the future. Yeah, but Bailey and AJ, if you want that like superstar matchup, those are the two to go for.
Then who faces EO for the title?
Returning Dakota, or Kylie, either one of them's fine. You know how they do the swerve of, oh, I'm gonna turn. No, wait, no, it's gonna be you.
He's not in the Rumble.
Who? I mean, hey, there's 4 people announced for that Rumble. There's still time.
Swerve. He swerves into the ring.
What's wait.
Get
What?
Prince Nana in the match.
Swerve Strickland versus Io Sky.
Yeah. Well, you said
You know,
swerve.
oh, okay, yeah, that's okay. I walked into that one. I'm sorry. I've got pizza brain. So yeah, AJ I could see, and hopefully a Mania matchup too. In terms of, let's pivot slowly to the final four in this Rumble because there's a lot of names in this Rumble. There's a lot of star power. You could have quite a few combinations, and it will make a lot of sense. Let's go for your final
I
four, and
think I
then we
know
could
who the
go for your
final
winner.
four. I think I know who they are, and all four of them have been announced.
Okay, rattle them off for me.
Before I do you think you'll have a guess at them, or
I think I know. I think I know exactly who the final four you're going for, but I'll let you start.
go? Nah, come on. If you think you know, you've got to go for it.
You're going for Cody, Punk, McIntyre, Gunther.
Fuck.
I mean, hey, it's predictable, but it's solid. It's very
I
solid.
did say they're in the match, and those are the only people announced that make sense.
Oh no! Hopefully, Spot is that he's going to win the thing this year.
Because Gunter eliminates McIntyre, or McIntyre eliminates Gunter, and then Punk eliminates McIntyre because they had the face to face. Then Cody gets eliminated by Punk,
Mm.
or Cody's not in the final four at all.
Oh, so
He's in the final 5 or 6.
does he do the Iron Man then because they want him to be strong? Have
No.
number one? No. Oh.
Remember Royal Rumble 2010?
Ooh,
Shawn Michaels
go on.
tries to cling onto the rope, but just loses his grip.
It's slow motion and fast at the same time.
He's near enough in tears. Starts assaulting referees. Tries to get back in the match, just trying to plead with the ref. Let me have one more chance. One more. They don't allow it.
Mhm.
And Punk, who eliminated him, stands on the ropes, like leans on the ropes, just smiles, and says something like, "This is my story."
And I assume
And
that
then
pivots
that's
into Chamber.
and now Cody goes to. This has become a fantasy booking thing.
Oh god.
Cody is now
I mean, that's a
arguing
part
with
of it.
Adam Pearce. Every week he's arguing, put me in the chamber. Put me in the chamber. I want the chamber. Put me in the chamber. And a week before the chamber, there's one person left.
Mm.
Qualifying match against someone. Cody wins the last chance.
Ooh, ooh,
Or
ooh.
Cody fails to get into the chamber match the first time. We've now got 5. There's a last chance triple threat 4-way, which Cody then wins. He's in the chamber. He's in the chamber first. He runs the gauntlet in the chamber. Last pinning, we'll say LA Knight.
Yeah.
'Cause
You
we'll
know what?
make
I
it
like
a
that.
50-50 thing.
You
Because
know
now LA
what?
Knight's now just lost to Cody. We
Mm.
can now get that US title match for LA Knight, because if he wasn't pushed down before, he's pushed down now.
Mm.
Cody now faces Roman. You got your main event. You got your LA match. You got your Punk match.
I like it. I like it. I have one amendment to that, and I think I'm not sure if it adds to it, but it's just something personal that that will get my gears turning. So I like all of it. The thing I'd change is that last Chance Saloon qualifying match. I make it a battle royal, and however Cody got eliminated, whatever mistake he made against Punk in the Rumble, he makes the same mistake in the battle royal, but he hangs on, showing he's grown,
Nice.
and then he wins the battle royal. But apart from that, I'd keep everything else that you said.
You know what
Anyway,
the funny thing is? I didn't even have a plan. I was just rambling and it made sense.
hey, sometimes that works. Sometimes the best idea is just spit it out at you. Overthinking can lead to really shitty
I was just
things
booking like
happening.
Tony Khan. Oh, shots fired. DDT Domain has beef with Tony Khan.
I'm gonna lead the AEW talk in the future. I'm worried for you. Yeah. So you think the final four is gonna be, I mean, obviously fancy booking aside, Punk, Cody, Gunter, and McIntyre.
Yep.
How
It's
who
a
wins?
solid final four with
Hmm.
Gunter coming out as number 30, I think.
Okay. Have a little role reversal.
Because I think hearing the at number 30 would just be amazing.
It's like in
You know,
20.
forget Gunter's theme. He comes
Hmm.
out with the actual symphony.
Hmm. It's like in the years past when you had Big Show show up at number 30, like, oh god, shit's about to hit the fan. Or no, like
Exactly.
Lesnar.
You know
Yeah, yeah.
people are getting their heads chopped off.
Hmm. And the chest caved in.
Yeah, my
So
overall winner is Punk.
okay. Um. Yeah, I can see that.
I rambled a little bit, but we'll move.
Completely
Your turn.
fine. We have a similar final four. Um.
You're replacing McIntyre with someone.
Well, I'm replacing someone with someone, but it's not McIntyre. I think
You're replacing
that
Gunter.
yes. So Gunther is starting at number one in my one. He makes it all the way to the final five, and then McIntyre just thunder cuts him out, just kicks his head off, throws him over, and then this is so the countdown begins. Number 30 hasn't come out yet, and number 30 is Sami Zayn, who returns and eliminates Drew McIntyre. McIntyre enters the ring, eliminates Sami Zayn along with him. They fight to the back. Mania match is set up there. So that leaves Cody and Punk, and these are the two that everyone will think one of them's got to win this. There's no one else who's going to win this Rumble. I mean, maybe before, I mean, definitely before Punk showed up, there was a bit of an openness about it. Like, Cody was always a favorite, but there was other people in the mix because, Punk wasn't around. But it's going to be Cody or Punk, and I like your idea. I don't think they're going to go exactly with what you put, but I think Cody does win the chamber. I think they can't just do Cody winning the Rumble again because that just negates all of last year's booking. because there's been arguments before that if Roman lost the title, everything that's happened in the past year could have stayed the same, and it wouldn't have mattered that much. Maybe with the exception of LA Knight because he wanted the title, but apart from that, they could have done the tribal court, tribal chief stuff with Jey Uso, no problem. It's just for the tribal chief status. I think, yeah, Roman hasn't done much, and he didn't need a title for it. So, if they really want to make this worth something, don't have Cody win the Rumble because we're back in 2023 again. This whole year kind of meant nothing for Cody otherwise. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with CM Punk to win. But this, and I'm just gonna say something about this is just me talking out my ass sometimes, but I want him to win from a number between 25 and 29. I feel like the numbers 1 and 30 are just played out now because Rhea won it for number 1 last year, Cody won for number 30.
6 people have won from entrant number 1 and like 5 have
Yeah,
won from 30.
yeah, that
27's no longer the lucky number.
I know, indomitable spirit or whatever, but it's just you want your story somewhat etched in realism, just a little bit. So I think, and it just kind of ruins the purpose of the numbers. Where if someone's number 1, your immediate thought is, how the hell are they gonna win? And they shouldn't win, but it'll be fun to see them try. But no, it's it's a bit lopsided when number 1 has an equal, if not better, chance of winning the thing than number 30 because of past winners. So have Punk win from number 25 to 29. That's just a personal gripe of mine. But yeah,
Have
have
him
Punk
win at
win.
27, lucky number.
Yeah, that I don't mind a lucky number because it's still very late in the match. It's just number 1. It's a bit of a piss take. You can do it every now and then, but you have to hold off on that for at
Like
least 10
Edge
years
done
now.
it, and then not long after you had another number 1, then you had another number 1.
Yeah. So yeah,
Didn't Bianca
2020
win it from number 1?
number 3, I think.
Yeah, so you
But
had number 1 and 3 win the Rumble in
yes,
the
and
same
you had
year with Edge and
and
Bianca.
number 1 did in 2023. 2022 was decent because you had 2 number 30s, but they were bad rumbles. It's a give and take, I guess. But yeah, I want Punk to win. Cody, Drew, and Sammy is the final 4. You can really interchange Drew and Sammy with like a Gunter or a Jay or even a Lashley. There's it's a deep talent pool. Um, but yeah, Cody and CM Punk final 2. I think that's what the story needs. It's ironic, I know. Um, but yeah, CM Punk wins the Rumble, and we agree on that. So we started off against each other, but we kind of came together on certain picks at the end.
Yeah, yeah. So a mixed bag of things.
Yeah, and that's
Kind
probably
of
the best
sucks. There's
thing.
only 4 announced as of Wednesday,
I know, I
or
know.
as of Tuesday, I should say.
Well, you know that once this gets announced, well, once this gets put out, I mean, more people will be announced. It's just the nature of the
Oh,
beast.
100%.
Murphy's law. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of people announced
This
on.
will get uploaded tomorrow, and then it's just everything's there.
Yeah, like I guarantee they're gonna announce that on NXT tonight there'll be a few spots open for them, and then on Friday a lot of Damage Control who are not in the match, so like maybe like a Cody Sane's in the match.
Yeah,
Deca-
100%.
yeah, so yeah, but I feel confident with my predictions. Do you?
Nope. Nah, of course. I wouldn't have predicted them otherwise.
Mm. But it's a more unpredictable pay-per-view than other Rumbles in the past, and I'm happy with that.
I
It's gonna be a
think
good show.
this Rumble has potential to be one of the best of all time, and there's only 8 people that we know are in it.
A combined 12 in both
When
Rumbles.
when Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are both announced for the same Rumble, 2 guys who we thought would never show up again, by the way.
Mm.
You know it's huge. We could be
Yeah.
living in a world where Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are WWE champions. The creator of AEW, and the guy who trashed the company for a decade.
Right. Hey, you said before, never say never. Time does heal all wounds. Well, at least most of them. Scabs over them, at least. It's Rumble is my Christmas. It's wrestling Christmas. It's the most wonderful time
Yeah.
of the year. You
The
have
reason they
Mania,
call
but
it Rumble season.
I know it's is perfect. I'm so excited. And that, unless there's anything you want to touch on, that does conclude the podcast. Got a huge week ahead of us. Got
We'll be
NXT,
back
AEW.
we'll be back on Sunday.
Yeah, we record every week. It comes out on Sunday. Usually we record on Saturday, but we wanted to get these Rumble predictions out because, oh my
It's
God,
a nice start.
yeah, it's like a good start to the calendar year. The first pay-per-view of the year, massive. Okay, so I have been Yan. This was Cam here. This is the DDT Domain Podcast, and we will see you next week where we will have a clearer road to WrestleMania.